about time I reintroduce myself because I'm going to be posting a ton more amputation videos. It has been coming up on 6 years since my amputation, so I have a lot to share. I've ummed and ahed about doing this for a while though, because I guess I have some opinions that aren't going to match a lot of others' opinions when it comes to disabilities, and like when people talk about amputations, I've seen a lot of people with a big following on social media talking about amputations, and when looking through the comments, I can see that people are commenting who are making the decision to amputate, and their viewpoint is scaring these people. Talking about like how prosthetic legs are never ever comfortable, like you'll never be comfortable again, you can never shave again, you can never wear a leg for longer than a certain amount of time again, like blah 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 blah. And that has not been my experience, so I want to share some of that so that I guess there's another side out there. I'm also going to be delving into things like controversial opinion in the disability world, using the term disabled or handicapped, or like inspiration porn is another one we'll be talking about. There's just a lot of things that I probably don't have the same viewpoint as a lot of other people with disabilities, so I want to share my viewpoint. I've ummed and ahed about this one because like I obviously have a different viewpoint, but also I'm not an inspirational amputee, and most people's stories that I see that have a lot of followings out there, they follow a certain narrative, and that narrative is that usually something along the lines of like, come with me while I amputate my leg and it's the worst day of my life and I have to learn to re-walk again, and this horrible experience that they had to like claw their way out of. And now, sure, if I compare having to chop off a foot compared to the rest of the challenges I've been through in my life, sure, I suppose I would probably say that chopping off a foot would have been the hardest. No, actually my accident was the hardest thing, not chopping off my foot. But like overall, the whole accident and like chopping it off all in one basket, sure, I would say that would be the hardest thing I've had to go through, like obviously. But I don't follow that narrative. I even see people posting on social media with a ton of followers after like an ACL reconstruction, which if you've played any kind of contact sport, you know a million people with ACL reconstructions. Yes, that was hyperbole, calm down internet. But I see people posting like it's the worst thing in the world and that they had to relearn to walk again, which P.S. I chopped off a foot and I would never say that I had to relearn to walk again. I had to learn to use my prosthetic, but I did not have to relearn to walk again. That's such a fucking wanky term. But they have tons of followers because they're able to post in a way that is like, this is the hardest thing and this huge thing to overcome, and like, and I just can't do that because I feel like a wanker saying any of that, and it just doesn't feel authentic, I guess, to me. It makes me fucking cringe to go at it that way. Yes, there have been hard times. Yes, having 2 feet was easier, but I still just can't post in that way. So if you were looking for like the inspirational story of overcoming like the hardest thing in the world, that's not me. If you're interested to know about amputations, I'm gonna like do a recap on what happened with my accident. I'm gonna do a recap on like making the decision to chop off a foot. And then I'm gonna answer a ton of questions about nerve pain. And these are misconceptions as well that I see out there, about things that are scaring other people who are potentially thinking about becoming an amputee. So nerve pain and fitting my first prosthetic and what it feels like to wear a prosthetic and all of that. So if you're interested in finding out about stump life and what it was like chopping off a foot, I have decided that I will be posting more videos. So yeah, the uninspirational amputee, I guess, over here, ready to share some truths and probably some unpopular opinions about the handicapped world, or the disabled world, if that's what you want to call it. I have become accustomed to using the word disabled a little bit more because people fucking hate it when I use my preferred word, but that's for another day. So yeah, if you have any questions about being an amputee, if you like seeing stumps, my stump's going to be on here, so devotees, come at me. That is another topic we're going to talk about. Again, I have a very controversial view on that one as well. But yeah, I'm G. I'm an amputee by choice, kind of by choice. And yeah, hopefully some people out there want to watch. And if you want to chop off a foot, this is the place for you. I'm going to share my side, which is not necessarily the side that you have heard on the internet, and hopefully I can calm you down a little bit about some of the shit that I see out there.